I've got 10 of these to do. 4145 modified. Let me show you how I turn these. Three-quarters of an inch to come off, or 19mm. Two roughing cuts, 7-inch long. £80,000 for a finish cut. Sloping cut for when I pick it up all the way around, so I'll wind it off. Start size is 11 1/4. Turn to 10.5 inch. Come out at 5 hour over. Here's some I did earlier. Turn it round and clock it up to the choke. Now I'm going to turn away from the choke. Check the tool will leave the end of the job without running into the tailstock. Then bring it down here. 3/4 inch to come off. It should be 2 cuts. It would be 2 cuts if it were Dean Smith and Grace, but it's not. It's a toss. So it'll be 3 cuts. Actually, I'll try it in 2 cuts. Just check everything's going to miss the tool post. Where that it's close, but it misses. Second cut. That's where I picked the cuts up. Much easier to blend in than coming from other way. Right, it's coming to end. I've said before when I'm doing this, you wouldn't let the tool run straight off at end because it can break the tip. Go with a bit of a crunch. But this is 4145 and And another name for that is plasticine or children's Play-Doh, so there's no worries about that. I'll just let it run off. Very, very easy to cut. No problem. Nice join, just 2 cuts. Let me get another one in, and then I can show you what you could be doing while you're running these, so you don't get bored out of your mind. So what you do, get the next one going, then go and have a look around the shop floor. Then you'd find something like that need boring at 198mm. So you'd find another machine that's available, strip it down where it's got in and set it up. Just like that, and then press start to play. 192mm tool, 60 inches long, 41/45. I'll be glad when we get the Craven running, so I don't get too bored. Heartbeats at only 72 beats a minute. I like it about 100. If you watch my last video about the DSG with the dodgy buttons, I've kept the control panel, and I'll get it fixed myself if the owner doesn't want to spend £5 to repair it. While those machines are running okay, I'm having a look at this. That's the button what's broken. That should be the same as that. I bet I could do that myself. First, that's about to break through, plus I've got toast and marmalade and a cup of Yorkshire tea. I'll do them first, change that, put another job in there, and then set about this, making one of these on one of these. Right, that's through. I'm going to get another one in here and another bar turning, and then I'm going to try and make the button. Well, it doesn't always go easy. I should make an outtake video when every time it goes wrong. The metal part has got some high points on it. These were originally just glued in, I think. I'm going to cut this off, leaving the metal piece, and then just glue the button back on. I'm going to have to use this again. I'm using that to make one of those. I seem to have been here before. Not turned out too bad. Shame it's wrong colour. That's still running, and that's still running. Get electrician back in. Well, that's that 10 done. I wonder what they've got next for me. I hope it's something interesting. Well, it isn't something interesting. I've got to face both ends to length. Now they're all finished with a nice shiny face. Let me see what they're going to bring me now. Oh my butter. They brought me another 10 to do. I'm going to end up slipping into a coma with boredom. I'm going to have a word with me in office, see if they'll get me some Inconel. Now that is interesting. Well, I think they feel a bit guilty in office giving me all easy work for apprentices. So they brought me some Inconel 625. That should get my heartbeat going a bit higher. So it's all set and ready to go. 170mm finished bore, so I'm using a 160 Tulsalute 10mm for finished boring. 45 inches long. My heartbeat's already raised to 80 just in anticipation of what's going to go wrong or what may go wrong. That's running perfectly. I can get back on the toss slave to face these jobs. I've just propped it up with wood because I'm too idle to take the job out. We'll get the steady on and get them faced. That's the first one done. I'll turn it round at the other end. Then just 18 more faces to go. But first, Yorkshire tea, toast and marmalade. Last one, thankfully. If I can get this out, then go and check on the Inconel. Haven't checked it in about 4 hours. Sounds okay. Right, let's have a look at the Inconel. Making a nice noise. It's gone 33 inch. No way this will go all the way through. I think I'll turn it around. Well, it's still running and it's gone 40 inches. There's only 5 inch left to go. I'm going to see if it'll make it all the way through. So while I've got a bit of time, I thought I'd rebrand this lathe. SU100. That suits it better. Suits 100%. Toss. Made on planet. Celloc. Covice. There's another one here. What they used to finish boarding. Look what's happened to it. Main shaft bearings have broken. Never would have happened if it were a Dean Smith and Grace. Jeebus H Christ. It's got 2 inches to go to break through. That's run non-stop for 8 hours. Not had to draw out, change the carbide or anything. Sandvik 1020 grade. Absolutely amazing. I better get that lid down so water don't go everywhere. I bet Titan would have done this using a Kennametal 4-inch milling cutter, gone straight through in about 2 minutes. How is that even possible? I'm going to see if I can find a longer one. Heartbeat only got to 95. Right then, Inconel 625, 55 inches long. Let's see how we're going with this one. Quiet as a mouse. I estimate this will be running for probably 11, maybe 12 hours. I'm going to have to find something else to do. Well, the Bridgeport and its support table look lonely. I've got some trepanning tools to refurbish. I might as well get on with those. 5.5 inch trepanning tool. it's had the damaged end taken off. It needs remilling for the cartridges. That'll keep me busy for a couple of hours. That's that one finished, ready to fight another day. Can you hear that noise? Let's have a look how the Inconel's going on. I've had a disaster. Thick water everywhere. Water pipe's broken. "44 inches. I've just knocked feed off. I'm going to put water pipe back on and set it going again. I think at some time in past they've had a National Women's Day and sent them here. Because it's got wrong connection on the tap. So I put a new one on. Topping tank back up, and while women were here, they obviously made trepanning tools as well. That should be a 2.5mm wall and a 3mm wall, and it's 4mm and 5mm. Look how tiny its scrap channel is. So when I get the Inconel going again, I'm going to remill this. Let me get this water back on and see if it'll pick up. Right, well, I'm not even going to try it. That's the tap's open fully, and there's not much water coming out. That should be absolutely gushing out of there. I'm going to draw the tool out and turn it round. That's a shame. So that's turned round and it's got 11 inch to go to break through. I thought I'd just explain what happened there. The centre insert had worn, making the core bigger, which was getting tight inside the tool. So it's just as well I didn't go all the way through, or I could have had a nightmare getting the core out. I made a video titled "Trepanning Why Through Coolant is Important." That'll explain it better. Well, all these have gone too easy really, other than the water park coming off. I'm going to have a word with Vernon in the office, a young lad who gets to working, if he'll get me some 718. He likes to be called Veronica for some reason. He is a good lad. He said he'd do anything for me. He's fetched me 3 pieces of Inconel 718 round. But he insists I call him Veronica in future. I'll just let this break through, then set up for the 718. It's 10 o'clock at night, but I've promised Vernon, sorry Veronica, it's to be done for in the morning. Well, don't you just hate it when that happens? I've just set up for the Inconel 718, all ready to go, and Vernon's come out saying, please would you take that out and put this in, it's urgent, it's for a mechanical breakdown. 4.5 inch bore. Well, Vernon's just come running back out onto the shop floor in his stiletto wheels, saying, sorry to be a pain, but there's some cast iron coming in that needs boring. Can I do that first before the Inconel? Oh well, at least I didn't set up for Inconel first. This brought me some more toast and marmalade and tea to make up for it. Other lads are going balmy, saying how come he doesn't bring us any out. So, cast iron, 20 inches long for a 150mm bore. I'm using the 144 tool and then I'll counterbore it out after. Right, enough at girls' work. I'm going to get some Inconel 718 on. First, you've got to get rid of all this fairy dust. So there it is in all its majesty. The king of steels, I call it. Inconel 718. 170mm Trifambo. that's running sweet as anything. Gives me time to get on the bridge boat and repair the tool what the women made. Well, I've just started to set it up and women in the office have been talking and they accused me of leading Vernon on. Well, they said Veronica is very sensitive and I shouldn't do it, and they're going to punish me for it. Look what they've done. Fetch me another 10 of these in. Well, that's gone halfway with no problems. And it's home time, so I'll turn it round in the morning. It's going to be interesting to see if Vernon brings me some toast and marmalade and tea. Next day, 15 inches to go to breakthrough. Vernon's just been out to see me to ask me a question. He's asked if I can do these any faster. Apparently there's another 50 to come. So he'll make it worth my while. There is a faster way I can do them. Let me show you. I've got that machine running and that machine running, and Vernon's just brought me this to make up for it. VD and T. Before I go on to get these running faster, I have to finish the tool I've already started. But the 718's about to break through, so I'm going to change that first. Second one running. That's the second one of these two finished, and then I can get on with doing them the quicker way. If you're an experienced machinist, you've already guessed what I'm going to do. If you're not an experienced machinist, it's to do with that. The choke. These are tubes. So I put a 3-jaw choke into the 4-jaw choke so I can grip on the inside of the boat with the tube and just straight top turn them. Let me get one in. So that was the plan. I'll now be turning towards the choke. There's not enough room for me to get a tool in there to turn away from the choke. The Inconel's still running nicely. That's on its finished bass. Vernon's just been out to say thank you. He's left me this. It's even got a piece of fairy cake in it. All the lads are going mad. Well, that saved approximately 15 minutes each one. Save turning round. It adds up quite a bit when there's 50 of them to do. Right, before I set this going, I'm going to be serious for a moment. You need to know what you're doing when you're doing anything like this. I'm working with tools and machinery I'm not super familiar with, and this chuck is not suitable for doing what I'm doing. I've got a piece of backing in there to give it some distance so the tool won't run into the chuck. A lot of things can go wrong. It's another reason why I like to turn away from the chuck is serious things can happen at the chuck. You've seen earlier on in video with the wire coming off and it's stringing. This stuff, one moment it's chipping, one moment it'll throw a long piece off, and that's when it gets dangerous. Start strapping around that and you're stood here waiting to knock it off. It can take your face off. I'm sure you've all seen the video on Reddit with a guy working at the chuck where he gets pulled into it and rips him to pieces. So really, leave stuff like this to Chris, Madge and people that know what they're doing. Right, I'm going to set this going and have a look how the inking hole's going on. Well, that was good timing. 1 inch to go. That's a beautiful noise when it's breaking through. .31 inches long, Inconel 718. 8-inch bore. Time for a quick tip using a 3-jaw chuck. Again, most of you will know this. Tighten that one, and then tighten that one, and then tighten the other one. Don't just tighten one up. Well, I'm having some right problems with this one. It's smashed 4 cartridges up already and it's only got 7-inch deep. I'm going to change the tool for one that I've made with the fibre pads in. It's not that this is a particularly good tool, it's just one that I put the pads on. I will have to make some new ones. End of the face has been chiseled to cut the pads. .24 inches to go. So there you can see how chiseling the end of the face cuts into the toughenal blocks, cuts them to the size of the bore. proof it's all about the tooling, here it is. This has gone 11 inch now. Barely hear it cutting. You want to see something impressive? Let me go around the other side of the shop and show you something. This bar weighs 6 ton. Look what's happening to it. "15-inch trepanning tool." That's nothing. Look at this one. Inconel 718. 11.5-inch trepan bore. I'm just an amateur at it. The guy that works these machines, Terry the trepan master, he knows what he's doing. That's made me feel quite inadequate when I've only got this little thing to do. He's got an advantage over me. I've repaired all his tools. They were the priority. I've got mine to do yet. Plus, he doesn't get toast and marmalade off Veronica every morning. Look what it's fetched me today. Cheesy toast, tea, and a lemon cupcake. "24-inch that had to go to break through to the other side, which wouldn't go. It's run perfect. Half-inch to go. Well, it looks like the trepanning tool, what the women made, has got to wait. Something much more urgent's coming. Two 55-inch long Inconel 718. I've got to trepan them 5.5-inch bore. But before I can do those, I've got to put a 10.5-inch hole in these. Luckily, it's only 41.45. Walking park. Look at this. Bin Laden's found his way here.
Suicide bomber.
That's a big hole.
Yeah, I'll pull it out now.
So while I've got those two running, this is the tool I'll be using for the 55-inch long 718 jobs. I'll put the tuffnell blocks in. This one looks like it were made on International Women's Day too. Look at that milling. Only a woman could do it like that. Well, I need to get another one of these going first. This is going to break through. I'm going to go straight through this time to make it easy to get the core out. So I've marked it straight across the top so I know the top dead centre. Normally I would join bore this to make it easy to get the core out of the tool, but in this situation with these I'm going to run all the way through, and hopefully the fin on the end will drop, and when I draw the tool out the core will stay inside the job. That'll make it easier to get the job out rather than moving all the steadies. That's the idea. Well, this is about to break through now. I often made the right decision and the core stops in the job. Oh, that's a big piece of metal to remove from the tool. Right, that's through. Let's see if that works. I heard it drop. Great, easy to lift out now. I have to open the bore up now. That bore is 6-inch diameter. Single point tool. I'm going to see if it'll go all the way through. It's both 10.5 inch plus or minus 1 millimeter. Which, if you live in Manchester, that's a tight tolerance. If you live in Sheffield, that's an house brick. Watch this go. Well, look at that. Nice and shiny. And that's within a Lego brick. I've got just a small piece of 304 stainless steel for a 9-inch bore. And then it's showtime. It's quite difficult to get this stuff to chip, even with a higher feed. It still comes out long, but just thicker. Quite difficult to chip Trepan in it. Anyway, it's going to break through. That's that done. Well, the bore was quite rough, so I've removed the core and jacked the cartridge out 20 thou for a quick skim down it just to clean the bore. Well, not quite short time. I've had to fit this one in as well. 8-inch bore. That's through. I'm getting bored. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's main event. In the green corner, weighing in at 10,000 kilo. Lathe Lang. In the silver corner, weighing in at 300 kilo, 718 Inconel. And your referee tonight is the Tufnell Blocks. First round, Messer 718 is winning. Centre cartridge has gone, but it's gone halfway, so I'll turn it round. Round 2. winner there is me. My brilliant idea with the Tufnell blocks. That went fantastic. And it's gone. Next morning, one more to go. It'll need some new Tufnell pads. Holy moly. The tips are absolutely shot. Have they managed to keep cutting? I don't know. But the referee held out well. The Tufnell blocks, they're good for another fight. I'm going to take the job out and have a look at the bow. There's the core. And there's the bow. Bear in mind, it's a rough bow. It's tapered 30 thousandths of an inch, 3/4 of a millimetre at the exit end than when it entered, but straight through. What a great enter here. Actually, it's not the end. I've got one more job to do. Come and look at this. Water tank's full. Inconel 718, 14-inch trepanned hole. This is definitely my last job at here. Well, after all that was the last job, this one went 7.5 inch and broke the inner cartridge. I've turned it round, 2.5 inch to go. I've put the feed up. Nice and shiny.
Very close.
Last job at here.